Everyone, welcome to the show. So, I mentioned earlier this week that the Republicans' draft tax bill didn't include some of Trump's biggest promises, like, no tax on tips, overtime, Social Security. That was true. However, what I wasn't aware of and I just became aware of is that on Monday, the chairman of the House of Ways and or the Ways and Means Committee, he had submitted an amendment regarding these tax issues. So I'm going to get into what all the Republicans are proposing. And if you could do me a favor before I dive into all of this, please, huge favor, hit the subscribe button below this video. It is free for you to become a subscriber. It helps the show tremendously. So I very much appreciate it. So here's the deal. Here's what they're proposing. They're saying income derived from tips would be temporarily deductible. This is only for 2025 through 2028. So taxes from 2025 through 2028. Those who make over 160,000 in 2025 will not qualify for this. Also, this is a federal income tax deduction, as I said. So this is not an exclusion. What that means is that tips are still reportable. You would still have to report them on your income tax, and then they are still taxable at the state and local level. So this would only apply to federal taxes. It also means taxes would remain subject to payroll taxes. That means including Social Security, Medicare for employees. So if you're a W-2 employee, that money would still be taxable through your payroll taxes for Social Security benefits, Medicare, things like that. In regard to tax on overtime pay, that would also be temporary. So again, from this year through 2028, taxes filed for the year of 2028. And as with the tip income, overtime pay would still have to be reported, and taxpayers would still would receive a deduction. So again, this is not like you're just excluding this pay from your tax or from your taxes when you file. You are still having to report it, and then they're giving you a deduction. This is also subject to payroll taxes, like I mentioned, Social Security, Medicare. And here is the big pain in the ass with these two changes. You are not eligible for any of the tip or overtime tax deductions unless you itemize your taxes. So now you're having to put out money to itemize your deductions. So if you're someone who just is a W-2 employee, you typically take the standard deduction, and you complete your taxes maybe even for free. I know that certain programs allow free filing. So if that's you, and you're used to like doing your taxes online for free and you get it done within minutes, that's no longer the case if you want to deduct any of this income. So you will have to either pay someone to itemize your taxes for you, or you're going to have to pay for an online program and do it yourself. So, TurboTax or whatever. As for Social Security income and how that is going to be taxed, Forbes news outlet explained, if your only source of income is Social Security, you're not paying federal taxes on that income anyway. So there's nothing in the Republican bill or even the amendment that addresses the taxes on this income, on Social Security income. What there is, however, is they've included a $4,000 deduction. Here's the catch, though. This is only for Social Security recipients who have other taxable income. So if you're someone who your only source of income is Social Security, you do not qualify for this $4,000 deduction. There's also income limits where the deduction starts to phase out, even if you do have this qualifying income. And so when you hit certain levels of income, you start to phase out of the $4,000, and then eventually it's capped and you don't qualify at all. And then, as with the other changes, this is only temporary. So even if you qualify for this, it's only temporary through the 2028 tax filing season. Unlike the tip and overtime deduction, though, this $4,000 Social Security deduction is available to everyone. So even if you just take the standard deduction, you don't itemize on your taxes, you would still qualify. So not exactly what Trump had promised, right? And all of these proposals at this time, they haven't been passed. The bill still has to pass the House, then it has to go to the Senate, where they will definitely make changes. And as of this morning, they were trying to call a vote. Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, was trying to bring this to the floor for a vote. And Republicans, they couldn't even get enough of them to vote to even bring it to the floor to try to work this out and pass it and send it on to the Senate. And numerous Republicans, Senate Republicans, have said, yeah, we're not willing to pass this bill as it is. Their issue is how much it increases the U.S. deficit, which it's a lot. I mean, it is trillions of dollars over the next decade, which they all claim to care about when there's a Democrat in office. So anyway, yeah, that's where it stands. It is not what Donald Trump promised. They're not looking at a permanent, cessation of taxes on this income. So, is the next president going to continue with this? Are they going to keep this in place? And, again, it's a deduction. It's not like you don't have to claim it at all. And you have to itemize. So anyway, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with all of this, but I wouldn't count on it. And definitely, the whole Social Security thing is a joke. So, all right, guys, I will let you know if I hear anything more. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Please like, please share, and subscribe if you have not. Please donate if you possibly can. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.